I've made some poopies. I washed my hands. And now, zines. Everyone knows what zines are. They're like little handmade books or like small magazines, but without the MAGA part, because that's a whole other thing for stupid people. Tiny little handcrafted things. They're known the world over. They're great. Artists make them. They fill them with drawings, collections of collages and things, photos and writings and a bunch of stuff. Some of them are colourful, and on one page they fold out. It's amazing. They have fairs, all kinds of shit dedicated to zines. Zines, bloody zines. From the time I was born until the time that I died, I've always wanted to make books. You could say, oh, Ewan, you've done very well in doing that so far. Yes, and I will continue to do so. I'll continue to do so. But that had to start somewhere. Where did it start? Well, you know, I always used to make my own comics, copy the comics I read, and then make my own comics. But later on, I made my own zines. Here's some of them. We'll draw for food. Cool. Look how collagey and cool it is. I won't go through them because the drawings are terrible. It was a very important sort of time in making shit, physically crafting a book, making things, handing them out, whatever. So today I'm going to show you how you can go about creating your own zines. This is how I started. I saw an online tutorial for a small little zine, tiny little one-page, no staples, all made from this. A single sheet of A4 printer paper to make a little book, a little sort of 6 or 8 page booky book. I saw that online and I thought, fuck, that looks cool, I'll do my own. And then I fucking went wild and made shit loads of them. There's loads of fucking tutorials and shit on how to make these online. This is nothing new. This is merely, I'm just showing you for the fucking whatever. This is what I was doing years upon years ago. So let's fucking do now. This is all going to be based on, if I remember correctly, fold the paper lengthways, fold it shortways, and then in half again. So it gives you, when you fold it out, 8 compartments. Slice from the centre out towards the hinge. Right, this is the sort of somewhat tricky bit. So you've got like, oh look, it's like a mouth. Oh, hello.
Fill me with piss.
Then what if you, so you sort of like that and like that. So it's this kind of, and then do that and that and that. Yeah. And then, you know, smooth the edges and whatever, and you've got yourself a dandy tiny little book. That's fucking cool, frankly. Whoever came up with that is fucking genius. So fucking smart. So what I would do is use this as like a prototype where I'd go, that's the front cover, and then that's page 1, 2, or back cover. Now, then, and all 4, open the fucker up and go, oh wow, sheets of paper. And then, you know, using this as a basis of front cover, back cover, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, collage, draw, paint, you know, whatever, onto your sheet of paper. Blast that on a photocopier a few hundred times. You can even, on this side, put like a big image to use as like a poster. So you've got your little fold-up zine like this, with all, you know, pages and stuff. And then you open it up, and there's a little poster with a hole in it that you can put on your wall or something. Like I say, fucking hundreds of copies. Sadly, I did look for my old ones of these that I made a bunch of. Couldn't find any. So I only made these ones that have staples. They were like slightly more advanced versions. that I'd made. But these ones are cool too. You just have to take my word that I made a shitload of them and they were good. Bearing in mind most photocopiers take on average A4 and A3 paper, such as this. I realised I'd recently run out, so I manufactured a sheet by sticking two A4s together. So it's just twice the size, so it's like this, but you can fucking make it bigger if you do all the shit with it. Fucking ass and AIDS. Then you slice her open like a cesarean section, like you're pulling a baby out of some cunt's tummy. Then you get this perfect, nice little, but just like that, you big stinking streaks of shit in my underwear. Look at that, a nice cool little book. You fucking make those, you know, you photocopy 200, tell the person you only made 100 or less and only pay for half or less, because that's how those places work. Hand them out and then everyone gets to see your bloody artwork. Time's a wasting. So let's not dilly-dally, let's make a fucking zine. Now, I'm sure you're all eager like beavers to know what the hell I'm talking about when I say I almost lost my job through the power of zines. So I guess I'll tell you the story as it goes. It was in my college years, around the age of I guess 18, and just after finishing college I got a job at my college as the art design technician, just sort of taking care of the studio spaces because the previous technician had left for sexually harassing minors. So they put me in that position of all people. Little did they. So, you know, fun, cool, whatever. Now, part of working there, having a job there doing that, was you were given a card, like a credit card, of like photocopy credits, like a little, you know, card with a magnetic strip that gave you a certain amount of photocopies allowed, so you could use them for, you know, fucking whatever, you know, work purposes, photocopying shit at work. Now, I'd been making zines for, you know, the past year or so anyway, and I took this opportunity to do the same, to continue in that vein. So my friend Sam, my good buddy pal Sam, was still a student. He was a year below me. He was still a student at the college. So he would very kindly play the part of my assistant. So I'd sort of get him to, well, I'd ready my zine. I'd get him to print off certain bits of text or Photoshop things together if I needed it, or you know, anything else. And he'd take care of that, print off stuff. I'd collage it all together and then photocopy it, and cool. I've got shitloads of zines. Cool. It's all very good and cool. But then, evidently, some fucking witch at the college obviously saw that I was enjoying myself whilst on my job and thought maybe I ought to not be doing that. So they told the teacher, they informed my supervisor of what I was doing. And what I was doing was fucking good, frankly. My zine, you know, it wasn't anything big or fantastic, but like I emailed a whole bunch of like my favourite illustrators and things and said, hey, I'm making this little zine at college, if you're willing to send me an illustration to put in it. And basically all of them did. I had David Shrigley in there, he's a pretty big name. Ashley Wood, he's a pretty big name. Tom Gold is a pretty well-known British illustrator. I had drawings by them in my fucking zine, man. But apparently that didn't fucking matter because my boss, as it were, one day called me into the old office. You know, a pretty regular occurrence throughout my whole life, really. And sat me down and said, Ewan, here you're making these zines. And I was like, yeah, they're pretty cool, right? And she was like, no, you're fucking taking the piss. Evidently, I was abusing my photocopier privileges. But, like, I was using the photocopier for literally nothing else. Like, I had this, you know, amount of copies I was allotted, I was allowed to use, and using none of them because it just didn't come up. So I tried to do something with that, and I got told, fucking stop it or you'll lose your job, you little shit. So I stopped it. The man got me down, as it were. You know, I'm not happy about it, but these fucking things happen. She was a piece of shit anyway. She was bad at her job. She didn't know anything about art. She was just there to, you know, make sure shit was working properly. Boo boo. Oh, bloody wonderful. Good for you. Fucking cunt. Anyway, that's about the story of how I almost lost my job because of making zines. And Swammo, you've got yourself a little fucking zine. How cool is that? Look at that, a nice little Pokemon Fusion zine. Those things are funny, aren't they? Draw some of them. Nice little funny, fun. Can't remember all their names, but I'll put them up on the fucking thing. Just some nice little doodly-doos. Nice little project to make. Put your website and shit on the back there. Hand them out. Photocopy them. Put a big one on the inside. Like I said, big one there. Photocopy it up all nice. And that'd be nicely nice. And they don't have to be perfect. And it's almost better if they're not. They look handmade. They're supposed to have some, like, sort of shittiness to them. Like when people have, you know, really super polished artwork, you should look at them with wariness and suspicion because they're probably a piece of doo-doo making their art all nice and polished like that. It's boring and shitty. Make them handmade, nice little zinity zine with some Pokemon. Everyone likes Pokemon. It's just that easy. That's the point. It's just that easy. There's no excuse to not be making cool shit and putting it out there. Mass produce some things, draw some shit, make some shit, give it away, sell it, make some more shit. Keep going, put yourself out into the world. Make things, fucking make things.